Dear colleagues and dear friends, it's an absolute honor and pleasure to be among you today on this special occasion of the 25th anniversary of the Hague Convention 1996. I wish to thank Secretary General Christoph and First Secretary Geraldine for this opportunity. To begin with, and to situate the ISS intervention to mark this anniversary, I quote from the outline on the convention as published, and while rereading it today, I think it was written yesterday. Increasing rates of international mobility have been accompanied by growing concerns on the protection of children in cross-border situations. Children represent half of the global population on the move between borders, and most probably more today. Issues of concern include the cross-border trafficking and exploitation of children and their global displacement as a result of war, civil disturbance, or natural disaster. Children are also affected by cross-border disputes related to custody and relocation. The number of transnational families has also led to the increased susceptibility of children to international abduction and to having contact with their parents severed, and a growth in the necessity of the cross-border placement of children and the provision of alternative care. The principal features on the convention, as written in the outline, are parental disputes over custody and contact, reinforcement of the Hague Convention 1980 on child abduction and unaccompanied minors, last but not least, alternative care across borders. All of which are the center of ISS work, advocacy, research, and publication. Yes, the Hague Convention 1996 is closely associated in cross-border child protection work of the ISS network. As a global network founded in 1924 and currently present in 120 countries, ISS understands the importance of effective collaboration, which enables approximately 75,000 families to be served each year via a wide variety of cross-border social services provided by ISS. As such, our organization is actively involved in implementing the 1996 Hague Convention on individual case-by-case basis. ISS is actively involved in promoting its effective application and in actively advocating for its wider ratification. Cross-border work in child protection cases is ISS daily core business, and the 1996 Hague Convention foresees very helpful cross-border communication and cooperation mechanisms that allows other bodies with uncontested competence, such as the International Social Service, to intervene in complex cross-border situations, whether in contracting or non-contracting states. To develop shortly in some level of details, allow me to dwell further. For decisions regarding the most suitable child protection measures that involve more than one country, cross-border communication and cooperation between authorities and professionals is indispensable. When the welfare of a child is at risk, appropriate measures for their protection must be taken at the place where the child is located as soon as the need arises, regardless of the child's nationality. In many cases, and to be able to make a decision in the best interest of the child, it is necessary to obtain quality information from abroad. In this particular context, ISS casework services include reporting high-risk situation, child protection alert, locating a child, obtaining reports on the assessment of a child's situation, obtaining reports on the assessment of a family or institutional placement abroad, counseling to professionals and private persons, support in decision-making regarding the future arrangement for the child. Furthermore, regarding parental responsibility, ISS sees also many benefits in the practice of having uniform rules on applicable law, such as Article 16, for instance. Let us now draw a practical example of cross-border work in the region of West Africa, where we have no contracting states for 1996. ISS value and strength in intervening in the region where we see a lot of movement of children across borders. Indeed, ISS, through the ISS West Africa network, aims to protect and reintegrate children who found themselves in vulnerable displacement situations in and within the region and beyond, in a family setting, and offer them prospects for a better future. This is done by strengthening the capacities of West Africa countries, putting the emphasis on inter-country cooperation. So far, and in recent years, over 7,000 children and youngsters have been supported. In the West Africa region, ISS clearly fills the cooperation gap by connecting protection systems in different countries. ISS is a facilitator for intersectoral and cross-border cooperation and ensures a harmonized approach regarding complex situations. Let us note that this was recognized by ECOWAS in 2016 as the support procedures and standards for the protection and reintegration of vulnerable children on the move and young migrants, and is applied today in the 15 member states and Mauritania. As this methodology has proved to be very effective in practice, the ISS published a global 8 steps procedures in a Children on the Move manual in 2017 on how to treat individual cases related to the protection and care of children on the move. And that was followed by supporting mass online courses in the following years. This brings me to another important point on how ISS promotes and the 1996 Hague Convention mechanism in its different advocacy, capacity building, and research and publications. Many ISS members across the world engage in concrete advocacy efforts to promote the effective implementation of the 1996 Hague Convention. They provide training, they provide capacity building to different actors, to social workers, to judges, among others. Since the 2015 conference on cross-border child protection that ISS co-organized with the Hague Permanent Bureau, the IRC is a specialized program of the ISS General Secretariat that focuses on research and advocacy in child protection, alternative care, and adoption, regularly publishes articles on news, promising practices, and initiatives developed in the framework of the 1996 Hague Convention. Furthermore, the IRC published in December 2020 a publication on national and cross-border kafala practices, through which it analyzes over 20 country contexts and addresses in particular current challenges in order to ensure that kafala is indeed a child protection measure respectful of children's rights, both domestically and across borders. To that extent, we had an extensive look at the 1996 Hague Convention as the reference legal instrument and proposed in our study avenues and concrete tools on how to strengthen existing cooperation mechanisms, like encouraging direct judicial communication and improving case management mechanisms. On another and last front, the 1996 Convention clearly promotes the recourse to mediation as a way to solve family conflict and to allow a child to maintain contact with both his or her parents. In our direct work with families and children affected by conflicts, we either provide international family mediation ourselves, refer to qualified mediators, or apply a mediation-based approach in our casework management style. Mediation has always been at the core of our activities within the ISS General Secretariat, where a specialized program developed various tools to inform and raise awareness on the benefits of mediation, targeting families themselves. Tools include the International Family Mediation Guide, published in several languages, and a dedicated website. ISS would be pleased to continue this work together with your support and is actively looking for new partnerships in this field. Next year, ISS and the Hague Conference will celebrate 10 years of official cooperation following the signature of a cooperation agreement in March 2012. We celebrate as well many, many years of close cooperation before 2012, of course. This cooperation agreement has a main feature too. The working relationship between ISS and the Hague Conference is based on a complementary expertise in issues of cross-border child protection, and building on that, today ISS is very much looking forward to increased cooperation in the Hague Convention 1996. Secretary General Christophe, First Secretary General Dean, friends and colleagues, I bid you farewell for now. I thank you warmly for this opportunity to share with you the 25th anniversary celebration of the 1996 Hague Convention, and I wish you all the very best of success for the continuation of this day's rich program.